I just got hair all on my face. Oh, I have dog hair all on my face. Welcome to the SCIF. I am Matt. That is Stu. We are the Green Beret Life. Please go and check out our website at TheGreenBeretLife.com. We do pistol, rifle, shotgun, try to get veterans and their families into the outdoors. We do free classes for veterans for pistol and CCW where applicable, and other things too. We can do shotgun, defensive rifle as well, and a bunch of other things. If you have any questions and you want to contact us about a class, in fact, somebody just emailed me a couple days ago I have to respond to. Please go and visit us. If you have any questions and you want to ask, get us hold of us at TheGreenBeretLife@gmail.com. And tonight we're going to talk about quite a few things. We're going to talk about SHOT Show. SHOT Show is going on. When does it end, Stu?
I think it has ended. I believe it ended Monday maybe. I think it ended.
Did it? Okay. So the SHOT Show just occurred, and there was a bunch of, that's where they introduce all the new gun stuff for the year from all the different manufacturers. I keep saying that I'm going to get out there one of these days. Going to get out there. You know, that'd be a great place to go and check everything out. They hold it in Las Vegas every year. I know the other big show. There's a couple other big shows that go on during the year. These days, going to get out there. What's going on there?
That was me. I was checking the Odysee and it started playing through my.
Yeah. Turn that one down. Yeah.
My apologies.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few of the things that are going on as far as the current events and what's going on in politics. One of the things I did want to start is there's been a lot of talk about these border bills that the Republicans worked with the Democrats. It's bipartisan, and they're trying to put it through. You know, Romney has already done the work of the Democrats and try to throw Trump under the bus. This border bill, folks, is a joke because the rhinos, the people, the corporations, right, that control, and the donors that control the Republican Party, I'm talking about the rhino establishment of the Republican Party, want illegal immigration. Okay, the Democrats want illegal immigration, but they want it for two different things. The Democrats want to replace their voters, right? They want to replace their voters with a whole new dependency class. Okay, so they can give them your taxpayer money, and because they gave them your taxpayer money, they will be looked at as the beneficent ones, and they will get their votes, and they will keep them in power as they continue to destroy this country, because their ultimate goal is the destruction of this country and to get us into this new world order. The Republicans want illegal immigration for another reason. Illegal immigrants are given massive doses of welfare. You know, this new budget bill is packed full of money for migrants, right? And they will be flush with cash. They will get money, they'll get phones, they'll get housing, they'll get food, they'll get all. They need to spend that money, their welfare money, and the Republican businesses want to provide a service to the rent seekers with their government checks, and they want to sell them food, and they want to sell them products, and they want to sell them everything else. And they also want cheap labor because they can hire an illegal, right, and pay them on average 1/3 less than they can, even half of what they can pay another American, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, these corporations want it. So they're all out trying to bash Trump because Trump is putting pressure on the Republicans in the House to make sure that this thing is dead as soon as it shows up. Okay, so the game, that the same players in the Senate are the usual suspects. We don't know all of them because I don't believe they've voted on this yet. But you know that McConnell, Lindsey Graham, they call Lindsey Graham Lindsey Grahamnesty for a reason, right? John Thune, John Cornyn from Texas, Langford, who's one of the architects of this bill, the same list of usual suspects, okay, are pushing this bill. And here is what I'm saying to you, okay? Anybody, you know, obviously in the Senate, they're only up for re-election every 6 years. In the House, they're up for every 2 years. Anybody that's a Republican that supports this bill. And there's another thing to this too, Stu. Money for Ukraine. They desperately want to get that money to Ukraine. You're like, why would they want to do that?
Well, hold on, Matt. Before we get too far down the rabbit hole, let's kind of just talk about what else we're going to discuss for the show, and then we can take, when we go over to Rumble, we can get a little more in depth with it and bring up the stories and talk a little more in depth before we get ourselves.
I just want to make a quick point on this, and then we'll highlight the rest of the show, and then be done with this. Okay. But the quick points I do want to make on this are, they're desperate to get money. So they tied in security of our border, supposed security of our border, with money for Ukraine, because nobody is about sending money to Ukraine. That is funding money laundering. We don't know how all of that works, but we do know that we're sending them munitions, arms that are made by U.S. companies that are heavily tied to these same congressmen, right? These same senators, right? Heavily tied. The defense industry, okay? The military industrial complex. So these are the motivations for Republicans wanting to get involved with all of this. And my point here is quite simple and clear. Anyone who supports money for Ukraine, money for or is pushing this border bill, which will allow, it's reportedly going to allow 5,000 illegal immigrants a day before they even start clamping down. And apparently it's graduated. So over time, it'll work down to like 3,500. So they're saying this is how many people a day. It's also, I believe, going to open up the pathway to citizenship for people that have no right to be here. Right.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do. That's going to be their primary goal, because it'll start with, the bleeding heart. Well, they're already here. They've already established a life. We can't separate families. It's not their fault. It's not the kids' fault the parents broke the law. It's like, well, what happens every time somebody knocks over a liquor store? The family's broken up because the one that broke the law goes to jail. They go away. But for some reason, it's different whenever it's, someone coming across the border illegally.
And we have no way to vet these people. They're coming from third world countries. That we have no way of knowing who these people are, what their backgrounds are. They're trying to do DNA tests, but that keeps getting pushed back on by the Democrats, finding out if the kids are really their kids or not, right? So the bottom line is, anybody who supports this, that's a Republican, money for Ukraine, and supporting this border bill, needs to be primaried. I don't care what big name they are. I don't care what good things that you think they've done in the past. They are for the destruction of this country. They're for taking your money and giving it to somebody else for something else, either to enrich the people that support them or to buy votes. You do not want anybody that supports this bill or that supports money for Ukraine. So that's an easy barometer when you go during primary season, which is this year. When you go there and you see what senator is up for a primary run, you vote no automatically. You don't even have to know who the Republican challenger is. You vote against the incumbent. This is how we stop this shit.
Well, look at how many hundreds of millions of dollars we've sent to Ukraine. And then anytime it comes up to the border, it's like, oh, well, that'll cost too much money. We don't have the money to do something like that.
Billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. Yeah. I think we're at 160 billion or something. I mean, it's insane. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Our country's broke. They're intentionally destroying our country. Biden is now saying he needs this to secure the border. Biden signed executive orders on day one and stated he was going to blow open the border. We're paying NGOs billions of dollars to go out down there and facilitate people for coming up here. They're getting their phones, not because they need to get a hold of them for this imaginary court date in 8 years. No, it's so they can tell them who to vote for, where to go to get their benefits, what to do. Here's your lawyer. All of this, all paid for by the SCIF that works a 9 to 5 and is paying for everything just to get by today. And their taxpayer money is going to support people who are destroying our country that will provide nothing more than spending your money, with vendors that happen to be Republican donors, or voting for Democrat politicians who will continue to destroy our country even more. So that's the point I'm going to make. Vote for anyone other than anybody who supported this garbage bill, period.
Yeah, it's a hot mess, and we've got some articles on that, as well as the money in Ukraine that's gone missing. There's a couple of the topics we're going to talk about was the new border bill that's being proposed, as well as money in Ukraine that this time they called it, but it's funny the way that they phrase things. We'll hit the way they phrase things to kind of make it a little more palatable whenever you're reading the article. And to what Matt was saying about the people coming across the border and no way to vet them, one of the stories that we have was an individual that was on the terror watch list that was processed at the border, was told that, he was not, or, they came back saying, nope, he's not a problem. He's not a threat. He's nothing. He's been wandering around in the colonies for the past year. And somebody realized, oh crap, we screwed up. This guy is a threat. He is a known associate, known member of a terrorist organization. And, he's just been roaming around for a year, doing who knows what. And they finally, tracked him down. But
yeah, we've got such a mess. Another story this week: Cori Bush who defund the police from Missouri, the big loudmouth on the squad, dumb as a box of rocks, is out there. She spent close to $800,000 on personal security. Right?
Was this the one where she paid her husband?
She paid her husband something like $80,000 or something. It might even be more. So
where her husband was paying her husband for security,
and he's not even certified for security. He's not licensed. Nothing.
Well, yeah, you'd be happy to know, Matt, that the ethics deal investigated that, found that she didn't do anything wrong.
Well,
and it's just
DOJ
come on.
The ones looking at the DOJ, Biden's DOJ is looking into her. She comes on, she says, this is a Republican hit job. No, you're being investigated by the Democrats. It's very interesting. But this is typical, more of the same. You send an idiot to Congress, this is what you're going to get. She's an idiot.
You're going to get idiocy.
Yeah. People from Missouri who sent this dumbass to Congress, do better. She's not right. Ilhan Omar comes out and basically tells the Somali community she's working for Somalia.
Well, yeah, I saw that story as well.
Allegedly, you have to add allegedly to everything, but you can all listen to the speech and look at the transcript.
You have to add allegedly, even though there's video of her saying exactly that whenever she's talking about Somalia, and she's talking about, telling them our country, my country. Like, no, you're supposed to be an American citizen now, but
and she's going to expand and get Somali lands back from other countries, and they use the power of the United States to do that because oh my goodness. So this is another thing. Minneapolis, do better. She's a moron. She's always been a moron. You know what's funny is they've got her dead to rights on so many things, from immigration fraud, marrying her brother. Right. Yep. And he went and got schooling. He was here going, I think, to the University of South Dakota and everything else. That's all fraud. That money should be demanded back. Nope.
Nobody will push it. Nobody will make an issue of it. It'll be brought up and, that's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
That never happened. It's like, no, there's the documentation to show that it happened, and when, where, how, what. No, not an issue.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the main essence of the show today. We're going to talk about it. We're going to hit these things. We're going to hit them relatively quick. And then we're going to talk about SHOT Show, because oh boy, we know what needs to happen. We know this whole thing that is being pushed on us right now. We know 2024 is going to be a nightmare. Okay, all the way through the election. We know what we have to do. We have to put the right people into Congress, into the Senate, and for President of the United States. And we have to educate our fellow patriots. We have to educate our neighbors. And we know this. So we want to talk about some stuff tonight that's going to be kind of fun. I hope you guys find it fun. Firearms are sort of an enjoyment of mine and Stu's. And
Yep.
and they should be they should be a part of every Patriots vernacular, because we got a full-scale assault. The UN is pushing all sorts of underhanded things, and we have senators like Elizabeth Warren here aiding that subterfuge of unconstitutional restrictions on your Second Amendment rights. So we know this. We're going to talk about some cool stuff when we switch over. I think it's a good time to switch over right now. Stu, what do you think?
Yeah, we can. I mean, just everybody that's on YouTube right now, follow us over to Rumble. The link should be down in the description. Should be able to follow us over. If for some reason it's broken and not working, just go over to Rumble and look for The Green Beret Life. You can find us there. But yeah, that's it. We can hop over there, like you said, discuss these current event topics, and then get rid of the dreary and talk about some of the stuff we enjoy for a change.
Yeah, absolutely.